At this juncture, Ronel B. Binsig, Cum Laude, from the Bachelor of Science in Industrial Technology, major in Computer Technology, for his words of appreciation.
Thank you, Professor Colin C. Garrido, for that overwhelming introduction. That boosted my confidence a little bit. To our University President, Dr. Roshin A. Anchita Jr., Honored Guest Speaker, Dr. Maximus C. Alhebi, CESO 3, Director 4 of CHEDRO 7, Honorable Vincent Franco Duke D. Frasco, 5th District Congressman, our Campus Director, Dr. Sandro O. Perez, Assistant Campus Director, Mrs. May Florida M. Pulango, Dean of Instruction, Professor Lourdes N. Garciano, Dean of Student Affairs, Mr. Vincent S. Borges, Deans from different colleges, Chairpersons from different departments, faculty and staff of Cebu Technological University, parents, guests, friends, relatives, my fellow graduate of Batch 2020, and to everyone watching this broadcast, good morning. It's a great honor to be chosen to deliver the speech on behalf of the graduating class of 2020. But before anything else, I would like to congratulate all of us graduates for graduating today. It was not an easy journey, but we made it through anyway. So, let's congratulate ourselves for this accomplishment. To be honest, since the day I was told to be delivering the speech, and up until this very moment, my heart was beating faster. My hands and feet are shaking a little bit, and maybe some of you already noticed my voice started to tremble. I can still remember the last time I spoke to a crowd, way back almost 20 years ago, when I was in elementary. During that time, before I was able to finish the first paragraph of my short speech, my eyes started to sweat. I couldn't hold my tears and I started to cry. Most people who were there at the time thought that I cried because of how emotional the message was. But the truth is, I cried because of embarrassment. I cried because I was a little bit angry to my mom, who forced me to deliver that message. For almost 2 decades, I keep that in secret, and not until today that I made it public. But today is a twist of that story. I will try my best not to cry, but if I do so, it's not about embarrassment, nor is it about anger, but because of joy and gratitude towards the people behind the reason why I'm standing here in front of you. Luckily for me, only few people are here, because we have the very first virtual graduation in the history of CTU. I think COVID-19 worked in my favor. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a very long list of people that I want to thank for. But first of all, let me thank our Almighty Father for bestowing us the blessing of good health, that despite this pandemic happening right now, we still have the privilege to celebrate this virtual graduation. Even if it's late, but at least we are all safe. So let's not forget to thank God. Secondly, I would like to thank our dear parents, our brothers and sisters, for their undying support on our ambitions without even asking something in return. I would also like to thank our ever-dynamic instructors for tirelessly preparing lessons in order to equip us not only with the much needed knowledge and skills, but also molded us to become a better version of ourselves. Who we are today is because of our dear teachers. To our dearest classmates, who have been always generous, who are always there to lend a piece of paper during quizzes time. Thank you so much. On a personal note, I want to give thanks to my family, especially to my nanay Rebecca, to my aunt Gilly Colangelo, and to my sister Marvin Vincent, for your moral and financial help. I could not imagine how difficult it could be, if not for your love and support. I would also like to thank my former boss, a static repair shop, Mr. Stewart V. Apat Jr., and Inmark International founder, Alexander Popovic, for giving me the opportunity to work as an OJT at your respective companies. To the technician, who have been very helpful to us, he also played a very important role in molding us, not just to become a better employee, but as a person as well. I wish I could thank everyone, but to those who stood beside me every step of the way, I thank you all. My accomplishment is yours as well. And whatever humble awards I got, I share this to all of you. Graduates, today is the day we've all been waiting for. To be able to receive the corona, not the virus of course, but the corona I was referring to was our diplomas. Most of us have different reasons, but we have the same goal why we enroll in college. As to myself, I have 3 reasons why I continued my studies. First is to finish my education, acquire knowledge about computers, and somehow learn about AutoCAD drafting. It all started when I was working in Saudi Arabia way back 2012 to 2014. It was there where I realized the huge gap between the salaries of a skilled worker and a professional. We, skilled workers, do most of the hard work. We work under the rain. We work under the midday sun. Perhaps it's the reason why I got a darker skin tone. But we got less salary. While professionals such as engineers, nurses, and those computer guys work inside their offices were paid way bigger than us. So I told myself that I would continue my studies once I get back to the Philippines. The second and third reason, I think you need to ask my close friends about it. Looking back at the first year as college students here in this institution was a mixture of struggle and excitement, especially for us oldies. At first, I was struggling to blend in, considering that most of my classmates were a decade younger than me. Luckily for me, I wasn't the only one whose age cannot be found on a February calendar. Well, naming mga classmates na nakabot ng Marcelo, bayad-bayad na sila ang nakabot ng EDSA 1. So instead, the youngsters adjusted with our presence. I can still recall the very first time I attended our class. Well, I was one of those students who came in 2 weeks behind schedule. It took me long enough to decide whether or not I will enroll. Fast forward, I came into my first class and sat at the very last bench. A few minutes later, I was sitting alone on that bench. My setmates, well, mostly girls, left me. For what reason? We never knew. But perhaps it's because of my appearance. Who would not be afraid sitting beside a guy without a haircut and has an unshaven face? Over the years, we were able to build friendship. Some even became more than friends. Some chased lovers on a monthly basis. But there were those, unfortunately, who were not able to find a lover even after 4 years. I will not mention any names, but the one I'm referring to is speaking right now. Well, sure kung manila ako, so wakay na maros ako. To be honest, I came here with a very little knowledge about computers. I first held a mouse here in this institution. I never knew proper fingering thing existed. Struggle is real. Inumpas mga batan mo. Speaking of struggles, I think most of us can relate when our mathematics and programming instructors laid out their examples and we students just keep on nodding our heads when they said something like that. Nakapalo ba guys? As if we were able to understand everything. But when examinations came, we almost peeled off our scalps, scratching our heads. We almost broke our necks, looking up and down, thinking where to find the right answer. We all have a fair share of struggles, yet we were able to overcome those challenges. We strove to work to our potential. We aimed high. We set our goals. And for the best part, we do not only achieve them, but in fact, surpass them with the help of the good people around us. But those days were gone. Those days will just fade into memories. Those days were just part of the process. The process of chasing our dreams. The process of cultivating success. Anyway, I don't intend to make this speech long enough for you to fall asleep and forget most of it. So, I won't be talking so much about our college experiences, but instead, let me share to you, my fellow graduates, about important things we need to learn before we depart from CTU and into the real world. We always hear about people who keep on saying, follow your dreams. Well, for me, I don't believe in that statement. Not unless you have something within you. A lot of people follow their dreams but fail to achieve it. You know why? They don't have the exact formula to accomplish success. I think that it's already obvious that I'm older than most of the graduates of class 2020. When I graduated from high school, I worked as a laborer in a construction firm in Imus, Cavite. Later on, I took up SMAU Institute in TESDA PTC Carmen. Worked as a welder in Mandaue, and then in Capas, Tarlac, and later on in Saudi Arabia. Yes, I am a former OFW, as what I mentioned earlier. Maybe some of you are wondering how old I am. Well, I'm proud to say that I'm halfway to become a member of Senior Citizen Society. My experiences in life taught me of things needed to fulfill my dreams and become successful. If we try to read and analyze the stories of all successful businessmen, scientists, athletes, and all other successful people in whatever it is they are doing, we can come up to a very simple formula. What do they have in common? Why they succeed? They all have PhDs. Yes, you heard it right. PhDs. I'm not talking about becoming a doctor in philosophy in order for us to become successful. Because we all know that some of those successful people were not even able to finish college. What I'm talking about here are letters P, letter H, and letter D. The traits you need to possess if and when you want to be successful. First is letter P. What is letter P stands for? Letter P stands for passion, patience, and perseverance. Passion is defined as our desire to do something that we really wanted to do. By living with a passion, we are eager to push ourselves to get better. Passion fuels us with the much needed energy in whatever we are doing. Passion generates positivity, which leads us to the next P, patience and perseverance. Patience is the ability to tolerate delays without getting agitated. When we planted a corn, we don't expect to harvest it the next morning. We got our diplomas by patiently studying for 4 years. Never rush things up. And if things didn't work out the way you wanted it to be, don't be discouraged. Remember, a small progress is still a progress. And small wins can still be considered a victory. Next letter is letter H. Letter H stands for hard work and humility. Success is never an instant. It's not like mushrooms that shows up overnight. That is why we need to work hard for it. And if we do achieve it, we need to stay humble. Don't brag about your achievements, but instead, wait for the people to notice them. Next letter is letter D. For letter D, we have determination, dedication, and discipline. To succeed in life, we need to be determined to get the things we want to achieve. Dedicate ourselves to our passion. Dedicate time and effort to something we want to achieve. We should discipline ourselves to be more focused in order for us to reach our goals. Most of us already have plans after graduation, and whatever it is, don't forget to have PhD. To succeed in life, we need PhD. We need to push harder daily. Push harder with determination, push harder with dedication, and push harder with discipline. Life isn't always fair. We all know that. It's never an easy journey. Along the way, we may stumble upon big rocks and fall, but it doesn't matter. What matters is how many times you get up from falling. Let us cultivate seeds of passion with patience and perseverance. Nurture it with hard work, determination, and discipline. And sure enough, we will harvest the fruits of our success. On top of that, we need to put God first. In whatever we do, we need to lay our plans before Him. For His plans for us is always great, and His timing is always perfect. According to the book of Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 21, it says, "Many are plans in the mind of a man, but it is the purpose of the Lord that will stand." With that being said, there's a lot of questions lingers in our thoughts, like how or when can we say that we are already successful? The answer for that question is uncertain. There is no exact measurement of success. The answer is within here, within our hearts. Success cannot be determined of how much money do you make, or how many valuable things you acquire, but how contented you are with your life, with what you have. How you give back to those who help you, how you give back to those who help you, and to those who needed your help. For me, that's the real meaning of success. When I was writing this speech, I remember the words of my close friend. Words he used to say whenever we got drunk. He said, "Brad, salamat ito Brad. Plus me the birthday. Wapa, yun naman ako." I just laughed and answered, "Brad, salamatin mo ulit mo Brad. Ayun, salamatin. Salamatin mo ulit kanila tayo." That's PhD right there. The fact that we were able to survive for 4 years, it means we have already PhD degrees, and it's up to us to utilize them to our advantage. Graduates, we are like mountaineers. The success we made today in our academic endeavors is just like reaching the top of Mount Apple. We might feel successful for a moment, but when we look ahead, beyond the horizon lies Mount Everest. The real world is waving at us, and reaching its summit is the real success we've always wanted. I firmly believe that we are all capable enough of reaching the heights we've never been before because of the quality of education we got from CDU. The lessons we learned from our highly competitive instructors does equip us with enough gas for our real life journey. It's not so long ago that one of our students from CTU San Francisco got the top 10 highest rating from the recently concluded licensure examination for teachers. That is the proof that we have the quality of education here. Once again, to my fellow graduate of Batch 2020, to all the parents, the teachers, friends, and to everyone who have been a part of this accomplishment, congratulations, and may God bless us all.